Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back to The Right Mentality. It is Friday. We made it. We here. I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for myself. We have another guest today. Happy to see a fellow mental health field worker right here, Now, you know what? I always do this. I ain't gonna say your name because I always mess it up. Introduce yourself to the people, please.
Good morning. I am Nicole Lewis, and I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I absolutely love serving my community.
Awesome. Awesome. Look at her. Trying to be like her when I grow up now. If y'all don't know, this brother right here been studying for the past 2 months to take this NCE state exam.
Mm.
That is tomorrow. So, you know, we gonna pass. We ain't worried about it. Now, good people, we got a story today. Miss Nicole and I are going to discuss the topic of today on the right mentality, removing the mask. Now, when we say removing the mask, we've been in COVID for a while. It'll probably never go away. It's the world we live in. But dealing with COVID, we wear masks to protect ourselves from getting sick, somebody sneezing on us, anything related to that. Now, when it comes time to remove that mask, we're so excited. We can breathe. So many more things open up to us when we take that mask off. But in life, what do you feel a lot of people in society are hiding from today behind that mask?
Oh, several things. People are hiding from their own insecurities by putting on a mask of maybe makeup or putting on a facade that they have everything together when they don't. People are putting on a mask um, to portray that they're a strong person, that they don't come off as weak if they have any vulnerabilities. And we don't have to do that because we are all human. We don't have to be perfect. And there's no way to be that way. So we can take our mask off and just be our authentic selves.
Mm, I like that. Now, let's take it back to that makeup one, that makeup right there. Me as a man, I don't wear makeup. But yet I feel like a lot of men still do wear makeup to cover up the pain and the hurt and some of the discomfort that they've been through in life. So,
Yes.
me speaking from my own experience, um, I would say I have put makeup on in the past because I wanted to coat what people couldn't see. Because I know, when people put on makeup, you covering up the blemishes, the dark spots, and all that stuff like that. So covering that stuff up, do you feel like you've ever had to put makeup on to cover anything from the past?
Absolutely. Being a Black woman, I felt like I've had to cover up my imperfections because society expects me to have it all together. Not only for myself, but to be able to do that for other people. So I thought that I had to constantly be busy and be working towards something and gain all these accolades, which was just me having a mask on because I didn't want to do all that. It's tiring, it's exhausting, but I
Yeah.
thought that that's what I was supposed to be doing because that's what we do. I see the memes about Black women. When we get bored, we go back to school, and we don't have to do that. We
I ain't never seen that one.
Oh, you've never seen that? Oh yeah,
No.
and it's kind of true. When we get bored,
Mhm.
we go do something else, and that's constantly keeping us exhausted because we have other stuff to be doing. We already went to school. We don't
Yeah.
need to go back. Um, and so, I thought I had to do all these things and put on this makeup to portray myself as someone that I wasn't. Yes, I did those things and it felt good to accomplish them, but in the long run, it's made my body very tired and I'm paying for it now because I have experienced some health issues.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
That is so strange. I have never seen that, but I will look that up. But just seeing that, and like you said, you gotta have it all together. You really don't, because
Mm,
honestly, I don't feel not one soul on this earth has everything together. It's not one person on this earth that's perfect. So when you sit here and you look at the people that blast stuff on social media and all that type of stuff, and they pretend, that's the mask. You pretending to, oh, I got my stuff together. We all good over here. I ain't worrying about nothing. But little do we know what they really got going on, in that closet behind that closed door right there. And I feel like be yourself. Like if you can show people who you truly are, you can be happy with yourself.
right, right.
But we can't do that. We can't do that for some reason. We just can't do that. So it's like I take it like this. Imagine, let's say you at the mall. You in there, and I was reading an article the other day. Let's say a elderly woman falls down, and it's a big crowd of people, huge crowd of people. 80% of people will not help her because they don't want to look embarrassed. They don't want to feel obligated. They don't want to understand the repercussions that may come behind helping that person. But when it's a smaller group of people, about 95% of the time, they're more willing to help because not everybody is looking. For me, Mr. Right, I don't care who looking, okay? I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. All right. I look at it as when people tell me, man, I don't want to be embarrassed. Don't embarrass me when we go in this store. So I don't know nobody in here. I don't know nobody in here. So therefore, I feel like you shouldn't have a reason to keep that mask on. There's no reason to hide from anything, to shelter yourself from certain things that happens in life. My
Yeah.
opinion. My opinion only. Now, Miss Lady, let's talk about these beneficial factors of authenticity when it comes to taking that mask off. What do you feel some beneficial factors are of authenticity?
For one, it can increase happiness in yourself. Just knowing that you are, free to do the things that you would like to do or say the things that you would like to say. And then two, I think it shows other people that they also can be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they see you doing something, they're like, they might question it initially, like, you can't do that. Like, why are you doing that? And then,
Yeah.
you give them a little pushback, like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, because what? You just can't. And like, is there some unwritten rule? Um, and then they'll start to think about it and they may change. So you being authentic may help other people be authentic as well. It can also decrease a lot of discrimination in multiple people. Like, let's say I'm wearing my hair a certain way at a job. um yes, I might have to be a martyr initially, like people are going to look, or maybe even say some microaggressions towards me. But then if other people see me doing that, they may start doing it as well and change the whole work culture, so that other people can be authentic or feel like they can. And then it becomes normal to everyone that's there, and there's less discrimination now. Now that doesn't always work, but that is one benefit that can happen from being authentic. It can also reduce stress, because if
Yes,
we're
Lord.
trying to prove ourselves to other people all the time by masking, that's stressful. And trying to anticipate and people please all the time because we want people to like us. So we dress a certain way, or we talk a certain way, or we got to get our hair done all the time, or make sure we get a shape up every week, even though the price is going up.
I
I have
mean,
to do all
hold
that.
on, wait a minute now. We gotta look some type of way.
Yeah, it's cool to, if that's what you like, but make sure it's what you like, not what
True.
other people like.
That
Oh
is
yeah,
very
plenty
true.
benefits.
A lot of factors that please, y'all, take notes. Take notes. Now, when she said it's not always about what other people think or, say or feel, you can't do that. Who was it that said? I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger or Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said, it's only impossible until somebody does it. So we go out here and we think, oh, I can't do that. That's impossible. That's inevitable. I don't think I'll be able to. It's only impossible until you do it. So if you feel that fear, if you feel like I can't do this, it's like my man Steve Harvey said, if you wake up in the morning and you wake up and say today gonna be a bad day, it's gonna be a bad day at work, it's raining, I don't feel like it today, it's gonna be a bad day. Once you put those things and those affirmations out there in the world, it's going to happen. But if you wake up and you say today gonna be a great day, despite everything that's going on, today gonna be a great day, it's gonna be positive, it's gonna be productive, let's do this, and it will be that. Like sometimes I feel like we need to just take a step back and reevaluate our lives and see what's really going on to understand, okay, maybe it's some things I need to do differently to stop trying to be a people pleaser, which is what a lot of people do. I was, I was accused of it before, but not anymore. So, yeah, y'all like, hey, do it. Don't do what they tell you to do. Do what you tell yourself to do. Okay. Now, asking her a lot of questions, but it's the right mentality. So now when we hide behind these masks because it doesn't allow people to see who we truly are, what do you feel could be certain type of, so to say, expressions? Because we all have expressions, and when we look at people, I could look at you like this and think, you could think I'm mad or upset or you did something to weird me out. But yet, when we look at people and we still hide behind that mask, do you feel like we're like hiding the expressions of what we're going through, like depression, anxiety, fear, anything like sickness, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was working in community mental health, I wasn't only working with the clients, I was working with the staff as well,
Mm-hmm.
trying to ensure that they were healthy because, being a therapist can have a huge effect on you. So, at staff meetings, I would try to check in with them or, in individual supervision, just trying to ensure that they're okay because, every day everyone's smiling, everything is okay. I'm getting my work done. But behind closed doors, they may be telling me like, I have no idea what I'm doing, or I'm really having these problems at home and it's affecting my work.
Yeah.
So people are putting on a facade to make other people feel better because they don't want them to ask what's
Yes,
wrong.
Lord.
Because we all do it like, hey, how you doing? And people usually, I'm good. How are you? But in
Yep.
reality, we are not good. We are struggling.
Exactly.
So we putting on a mask at that time, because we know that people aren't really asking how we're doing. They're just saying good morning or something. But I usually try to answer that question when someone asks, like, "Hey, how you doing?" I am not doing well. I'm doing horribly.
Yeah.
I try to let people know, because I don't want people to think that I'm okay. Because I've had to learn that when I'm not okay, people won't know it unless I tell them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us expect people to just know, like they should have known how you didn't use your voice. So now I share with people if I'm not feeling good. I tell them like, hey, this isn't a good day for me. Or, if I am having a good day, I'm like, I'm doing really well.
Yeah.
So thank you. Um, So we have to be able to communicate our needs to other people, because we can't expect them to read our minds, because we're not being authentic in those moments. And a lot of us love to say we value honesty and truthfulness, but we're not being truthful if we're telling somebody we're fine, okay,
Mhm.
and okay all the time. So we're going against our own values in those moments, just so that the other person can feel comfortable. Because a lot of people don't know how to respond to you saying you're not doing okay. It gets awkward. And so to prevent that, you just say
Yes.
that they're doing
Yeah.
okay and doing fine. But in the long run, that hurts you,
Mhm.
because now you're keeping it to yourself. And you're having some internal conflict, and you think nobody's here for me. But in reality, we never shared that. Nobody knows.
Exactly.
So how would they know to be there for you? So it causes some issues if we are not authentic with other people.
Look at her talk the way she talking there. Okay. So that to me, I love that right there because I always tell my daughter's 12, just turned 12. And
Mm,
like let's say we at home, we chilling, and she comes in and say it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Daddy, I'm hungry. Okay, what you want to eat? Well, I've been hungry since 10. What don't we do, baby girl? We don't read minds. I teach her that. We do not read minds. So somebody asked me, hey, how you doing today? I'm good. You sure you all right, man? I'm good. Straight face. Can't read your mind. I'm not going to try and read your mind. If you want to tell me what's going
mhm.
on, please do. If not, like you said, it can become awkward because we as people, we aren't honestly, we're not trained to talk to people. We're not trained to, if it's not within you to be a people person and talk to people, you're not going to be able to understand and get on that type of level to actually relate to them or talk to them, have that type of conversation. Because you go in the grocery store, you got the workers in there, they say the same thing every time. Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? And you move on about your day. Now imagine if you went in there, they say, hey, how you doing today, sir? Man, I lost my wife. My house burnt down yesterday. My dog ran in the street, got hit by a car. I just don't know what to do. But I came in here to get a pack of bologna and some bread to eat something. Okay, I hope it gets better for you, sir. Like that's what you're gonna expect because they don't know. So for me, I don't mind asking people how they doing, but I feel like if you're going to ask somebody how they're doing, be ready for the answer. You have to be
Mhm.
ready for the answer.
Mhm.
That's the part of being authentic, people. Be yourself, be true. Now, you gave them, before, but if you could give 3 tips to these good people out here in the world today, what would be 3 tips that you could give them to get ready to remove that mask?
Um, for one, I would tell people to probably realize what their values are. Because if you've never had to sit down and think about it, you may not be sure. You may have only answered this question when attempting to date someone and they ask you, what are some things you're looking for in a partner? Other than
Yeah.
that, most people don't talk about values. And so in that instance, you're not even talking about your own values, you're talking about values you want in another person. So I would try to tell people to sit down and think about what values they have for themselves, whether they value being trustworthy, whether they value family, whether they value making a lot of money.
Mhm.
All of that stuff is really good to know. And even if other people don't maybe value it as much as they do, that doesn't make it wrong. So it's good to go over that. And you can easily find like worksheets if you just Google it regarding values to figure out what some values are for yourself. And so that will help you figure out what's driving your decision making. And so if you value certain things and you notice that, hey, I'm masking, or I feel like I have to code switch,
Whew.
What am I valuing? Probably keeping my job because
Yeah.
people discriminate against
Yep.
you if you talk a certain, which is horrible, but that's, a survival skill. So in
Yep.
that instance, I do understand people not being authentic with the way that they talk, because I've had to do the same thing to ensure that I kept my job, because
Me too.
some people just don't understand AAVE, and they'll be like, what are you talking about? And
Exactly.
so now I have to be bilingual
Hmm.
and switch and code switch to something else because they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so that's a survival tactic. I don't think that's being inauthentic.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you have to code switch around friends, now that's different.
Yeah.
Because if they're not accepting you for who you are, that's probably not people you need to be around. So yeah, make sure you know what your values are, because they'll help you drive your decision making. Another tip would be to journal. There's a lot of thoughts that we have throughout the day, and we push them to the side a lot because we just simply don't have time to process them. And so, if we are journaling, in probably before bed, we can get a lot of things out, and it'll probably help us sleep. And we can realize what we liked and disliked about the things that we did or said that day. And so we can move on from that. If I didn't like something I did today, I've learned my lesson. This is not something I like. It didn't make me feel good. So tomorrow, I'm probably not going to do that thing anymore. So I can get closer to being my authentic self. And in the mornings, we can journal about gratitude. Because if we start our day with gratitude, it's probably going to go well, like you mentioned a few minutes ago. And it doesn't have to be, I'm grateful for this house and this car that I have. It doesn't have to be stuff like that. It can be,
Yeah.
I'm grateful because the sun is shining, and that's going to give me some good lighting for my selfie.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be simple as that.
Yeah. That's
It
true.
doesn't have to be all the huge stuff. And so, because we love a good selfie,
Oh.
it's gonna make
Okay.
us feel good. The sun
Okay.
shining. Oh, honey, yes. Look at his face. No filter. So, we can do some of that journaling as well to, to get to our authentic selves. Because look, if we ain't using a filter, that's also authentic. And that's a whole nother story when it comes to
Yeah.
filters. Um, but that's another tip, journaling about gratitude. We can also just actually start having conversations with our loved ones, friends, or family, if you feel comfortable in saying, what is it about me that you like? Like, why do you like being around me? And hopefully people will have a answer for you. If they aren't sure, they probably need to, do some work on their values, as well, because they
Mhm.
may not. But hopefully they'll tell you, like, I love being around you because, you're always in good spirits, or you try to be, or, you make people laugh, or you're ambitious. And, I love your drive, and I love when you talk about your profession because you're excited about it. I love your energy, stuff like that. So if we learn that from our loved ones, then it will help us to be more authentic. Like, okay, people have said that they love this thing about me. Let me highlight that so that I can, become a better version of myself and be more authentic. If people say they like these things about me, then let me keep doing that. They never mention this part about me. That doesn't mean that it's bad, but
Yeah.
maybe, maybe it's not that great.
Mhm.
And that's
True.
something to work on, maybe, because they might say, well, I don't, you asked me about what I like, but let me tell you about something you be doing I don't really care for.
Mhm.
I gotta be prepared for that part.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make them wrong for saying that, because you open the door.
Yeah.
But you may share some things like, what I don't really like about some things that you do is, when there is a problem, you don't really like to fix it. You just like to talk about it over and over and over and over and over, and you don't, do
Yeah.
anything about it. And that's hard to hear because I never want to see you struggle, but you struggling and you're not doing anything. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably something that you can work on to better yourself. Now, that probably sucks to hear, but it's very good information to know.
Yep.
So that can help you be more authentic. Um, and you know, you might say, dang, you're right. Because every time something wrong, I call you and you be like, well, what you gonna do? I don't know. So, you know,
Yeah.
we don't have to go above and beyond to try to be our authentic selves. We can ask the people right here around us, you know, what they like and dislike about us. Um, and like I said, even if they say these things, it doesn't mean you have to change yourself. That's just, you know, you getting a perspective from
Yeah.
other people. Because usually our perspective of ourselves are totally different from other people. A lot of us
Yep.
may think all these negative things about ourselves. Like I'm alone, so I must not have a lot of friends or nobody cares about me. But in reality, if you ask your loved ones, they'll say, yeah, we wish we could see you more, or hear from you more. And then you think like, I'm so alone because I don't reach out to people and ask them, hey, you want to hang out, or
Yeah.
what's going on? You want to come by? We can watch a movie. So we have a different perspective. So if we actually ask people and communicate effectively, we could probably learn way more about ourselves so that we can be more authentic.
Look at her. Tell her, hey, I hope y'all wrote this down, okay? Tips for life. So that when y'all go out here today, tomorrow, next week, whenever, y'all can take that mask off. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
let's say it
Yeah.
properly. Wear it in public for COVID, but take the real you, like get from behind that and become who you're supposed to be in this world, okay? Because
Mhm.
I want everybody to be who they're supposed to be. Be authentic, be real, be true, be who you are. Now, that's Nicole Lewis. They need a therapist. They need somebody to talk to or vent to. Where is it that they can find you?
Oh, people can find me mostly on Twitter. That is my favorite
She
platform.
famous. She famous.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Nicole Lewis, LCSW. I really enjoy Twitter because I can just share my thoughts and move on. You can also find me on my website, LegacyWellnessServices.com. This website is specifically for my therapy practice that I have. So I do see clients virtually in a few states, also internationally, because there aren't a lot of therapists that are Black in other countries. And so
This is
I
true.
see clients from different countries sometimes. But I specialize in meeting with Black adults. I don't see children, I don't see couples, I don't see families. I see individuals that are Black. That is my specialty because there aren't a lot of Black therapists. And so I try to make myself available for those who are seeking out someone who looks like me. You can also find me on Instagram at legacy_wellness. But if you really want to talk to me, you should probably add me on Twitter because that's where I'm at. And of course, you can, email me and stuff like that, Nicole at LegacyWellnessServices.com. But yeah, I'm usually on Twitter. I try to tell people, look, don't judge me, because there is Twitter now. Like I'm a therapist, but don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. I'm still a human being. I'm my
Yeah.
authentic self on Twitter. So
Yeah.
what you see is what you get, and that's usually how my clients find me is on Twitter. And I know that there's this huge thing with ethics and therapists shouldn't be following or their clients shouldn't be following them on Twitter, but it's like, mm,
Got no
if I
control
wasn't on
over that.
Twitter, they wouldn't have found me.
Yeah.
Um, because people want to talk to people that they can relate to. And if I'm being my
Yep.
authentic self on Twitter and they see that, they're like, oh, I want to talk to her. She probably will understand, some of the things that I'm experiencing. Because I do tweet about my own mental health as well. And so I tweet about my struggles because, I do have a few diagnoses. And I do see a therapist because it's super important, especially as a therapist, because I have to be healthy and whole for my clients. I'm not going to be able to do the best job possible for them, which they deserve. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And I really enjoy it. I also have a group or a community on Twitter for Black women called Mental Health is Wealth, where we talk about all kinds of stuff related to mental health. We provide support to each other. And so I really, really love it because I was actually looking for a community like that and I couldn't find one. So I just created it. And it's been such a blessing and it's bringing me a lot of joy. So I'm grateful to all those women who joined because it's showing other Black women like, hey, it's okay to not be okay, even though society says you have to be the strong Black woman, which is very, very hard and exhausting. So we're breaking away from that stereotype, and we are being our authentic selves in that group.
Awesome. If y'all ain't hear it, rewind it. If not, I'll post it in the description. Okay. Now, good people, always remember, keep the right mentality.